moving in front. Klima scores! What a beautiful move by Peter Klima. Gretzky drops it at the line. Robitaille shot, he scores! Two guys that were stars in each other's wedding. Throws it across to Tikkanen. There's his shot. They score! Deflected by Peter Klima, I believe. The Tikkanen shot. Scores!
Welcome to Classic Series here on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. Today we look back at the 1991 Smythe Division Final between the Los Angeles Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. Now, these teams have been division rivals since 1981, but things became even more interesting when Wayne Gretzky left Edmonton for LA in 1988. The Great One's off-season arrival changed the way the Kings played and helped them become spoilers in the opening round of the playoffs in his first season. The win over the Oilers helped end the Oilers' reign as Cup champs. A year later, Edmonton had its revenge by sweeping Los Angeles on the way to reclaiming the Stanley Cup. In 1991, the teams met for the third straight year. It was a series that would end up featuring 4 overtime games. Overall, this was the 6th playoff series between the two teams in a decade. 1982 was the first and perhaps the most stunning meeting of them all. In Game 3, the heavily favored Oilers blew a 5-0 third-period lead, the largest in playoff history. The Kings tying the score in the final seconds. Darrell Evans completing the comeback with a stunning overtime goal. Los Angeles eventually upset Edmonton in 5 games. The Oilers, however, dominated the next 2 playoff meetings, winning 7 of 8 games in the process. In Wayne Gretzky's first year in Los Angeles, the Kings overcame a 3-1 series deficit to eliminate the Oilers, who were 2-time defending champs. The Oilers avenged that loss the following year with a decisive sweep of L.A., outscoring them 24-10 in the 4 games. Edmonton eventually went on to become champs in 1990. In 91, the Oilers began defense of their cup by surviving an emotional roller coaster against the Calgary Flames in the opening round. Esa Tikkanen's goal in overtime in Game 7, giving Edmonton the victory. At the same time, the Kings eliminated Vancouver in 6, outscoring the Canucks over the final 3 games of the series by a combined score of 17-6. Grant Fuhr had backstopped the Oilers to their opening round victory, but John Muckler decided to give the 5-time Cup champ a rest to start the second round, giving reigning Conn Smythe Trophy winner Bill Ranford his first playoff start in 1991. The Kings countered with Kelly Hrudey in Game 1 in Los Angeles.
When you're a coach and you get a chance to choose between Ranford and Fuhr, you cannot be wrong.
Wayne Gretzky is going to, I'm sure, have to play a me-and-my-shadow game without the Tikkanen. The Oilers now making a change as Benning comes up the ice. Fired in with Donnelly racing in after it. Casper in there as well. Casper gets the puck, walking up front. He finds it, he scores!
Steve Casper, who was on a 3-game point streak, puts his team ahead on the first shot on goal by the Kings, and he caught Bill Ranford in the middle of a poke check position.
Graves tries to flip it out front. It comes out front. They jam away at it. And Kelly Hrudey knocks it to the corner. Kelly Hrudey is down.
Robinson is going to get a cross-checking penalty, I think, as he decked the Oiler forward, Martin Gellin, I believe, in front of the net. Let's have a look at it here now. It's in front of the net. There's Jelinek. Kudelski comes up. And there's the cross-check. That's the oldest pair of guys arguing at one time in the National League. Larry Robinson is going to get 5 in a game.
Robinson was arguing with referee Bill McCrory, but now he skates to the exit leading to the Kings dressing room. And you can tell that he is less than pleased with the sentence as he is gone for the night.
Well, he's a veteran defenseman, and there are a few of them around who can play the game without taking penalties. And he's not a big-time hitter, but he does take you out. Now, Wayne's arguing at his very political best right here.
The Kings now just 1 man short as Donnelly is on the ice. Over to Tikkanen. Tikkanen winds up. His shot right on. Anderson trying to jam the rebound, but Hrudey covers up.
You know, a good goalie makes the save, but an excellent goalie controls the rebound. as did Rudy there, because Anderson was just waiting to pop it in. Without question, the trainer's the busiest guy in the rink before the game.
Sandstrom steals and he scores!
Now here's the draw. Sandstrom comes around from the middle. The Oilers center left Pinelli, so Bookeboom had to take him, and the next thing you know, Smythe and Bookeboom got mixed up.
And the big rebound fired out of the zone and down the ice. Kalkitas goes back after it for Los Angeles. Intercepted by Jelena. His shot, he scores!
Martin Jelena gets his first goal of this night playoffs in 1991, and also gets his first goal of the season against the LA Kings.
Couldn't get it loose. Here's Gretzky, saved by Ranford as he did the splits on a turnover in the Edmonton zone. 6:46 remains in the second period. Rink-wide pass for Anderson. Anderson crossing with Messier, lets the shot go up high off the glass, kick right out in front. It's in! They score! Rudy wasn't sure where it was, and as they skated out in front, it deflected a couple of times and went past Kelly Rudy.
Well, here's the shot by Anderson off the glass. The puck comes back out to the side. It's kicked in front. Now Rudy has no idea where it is. In comes Messier and slaps it between his legs.
And it's knocked ahead to Simpson. Simpson looking for Klima, lead pass. Klima going in. Saved by Kelly Rudy. Klima gets it again. Klima moving in front. Klima scores! What a beautiful move by Peter Klima. He was robbed in the breakaway. He persisted, was allowed to dance in front and put about 4 fakes on Kelly Rudy before finally firing it into the far corner.
And everywhere Gretzky turns, after he passes the puck, this is what he gets. As this game wore on, in the first half of it, many of the stops he made, he didn't know where the rebound was going. I don't see that happening to him now.
Back of the net, Gretzky throws it up to the point. Duchesne's shot, loose in front of the net. They score!
Luke Robitaille, I'm sure, was the guy that stuffed it in after the shot came from the point. With 7:53 to go and 7 seconds left in the penalty to Charlie Huddy, we've got a tied game.
With 3 seconds left in the penalty. Back of the net, Sandstrom trying to move it out front as the penalty is over. Back to the line, McSorley lets it go. Ranford makes the save. Puck comes to the line. There's another shot by Benning. It's blocked and slipped out of the zone. Looking out for Duchesne, and Duchesne's shot deflected wide of the net. Another shot from the point by McSorley. Ranford makes the save. Early pressure in this overtime by the Kings. Here comes Gretzky. Gretzky drops it at the line. Robitaille shot, he scores!
Robitaille had nearly scored on a bullet shot about 40 seconds before he did this one, about a 40-footer with all kinds of mustard on it. Got by Bill Ranford to end this game.
Luke Robitaille celebrating his second goal of the night. He tied it in the third. He wins it in overtime.
Ahead on the show, trailing 1-0, John Muckler goes back to Grant Fuhr in net. The 5-time Cup champ would be forced to work double overtime for his return between the pipes for Game 2.
Gonna try, so I tried it a few times after, it didn't work, but I can recall that play.
Back into Belichick. Belichick to Sittler, reception.
Hat-trick in this period. 3 goals for Sittler here in the second period. He's having a tremendous evening.
Well, at the end of the second period, I had 7 points. You know, that's a great night for any player to score 7 points in a game. Stano Bodiak, the statistician, came in at the time and in between periods and said that Rocket Richard had 8 points and Bert Olmsted had 8, and that was the record. So we knew then, the players and myself, that we had a shot at it going into the third period. The last point, in watching the replay, you've probably seen where I was behind the net. I tried to pass the puck out to Errol Thompson. Brad Park stuck his leg out to the defenseman. Dave Reese opened his legs up, and it went in the net. So that basically told the story of, hey, that night everything was going to go in for Daryl Sittler.
From 40 feet out was a difference in the opener. The Quebec-born winger had already been on the scoreboard, scoring the equalizer in the third period. John Muckler decided to shake things up and make a change in goal by starting Grant Fuhr. The rest that Fuhr would get in Game 1 while backing up Bill Ranford would prove to be beneficial, because Game 2 would last a lot longer than anyone had anticipated.
Rudy's had the best year of his career, and so far is as good as any goalie in the league.
From the opening face-off, Larry Robinson, who did not finish the game, drawing that 5-minute major in the first period of game misconduct, dumps it in. It's loose, the shot from the face-off, the rebound, Alex scores!
Well, that one only took 13 seconds before Todd Ellick shoveled a rebound past Grant Fuhr.
Gretzky in his own zone, puts it ahead to Sandstrom. Sandstrom, a long shot from just inside the blue line, and he took a hit as he let that one go, and he's hurt.
Craig Muni got Sandstrom just after he took the shot with that low knee-crunching body check that he's famous for throwing, and Sandstrom's in a lot of pain, grabbing onto his right knee or his right leg, and he was really low-bridged in a late low hit by Craig Muni. Muni's coming over from the right of the screen right here, and then whammo, Sandstrom just almost got out of the way. And when your leg's that sore now, when it stiffens up, he's not going to be able to sneeze.
At least Sandstrom is able to put a little weight on that leg as he heads off to the dressing room. Puck kept in the zone, back to the line. Muni's shot, it goes wide. Donnelly can't get out. Back to the line. Here's Lowe with a shot. He scores! Kevin Lowe, who did not play in Game 1, gets the Edmonton Oilers back on even terms.
Well, two guys that were stars in each other's wedding meet on different circumstances here, as Kevin Lowe tried to get Wayne a little past the SeaWorld. And there is Craig Muni dumping Gretzky. Not quite as hard, but... And here's Muni again. And Here's
an opportunity with Graves coming in with Jelena and Semenoff. Semenoff out for Jelena. He scores!
Boy, that Semenoff, what a play he made. Again, that puck bouncing all over the rink to spoil the 3-on-1 opportunity.
Los Angeles leading the series 1-0, winning the opener 4-3 on Luc Robitaille's overtime goal. Here's Kudelski teeing it up, he scores!
Bob Kudelski, the hardest shot on the LA team, gave us an example of just how well he can shoot the puck.
Lamb winds up his shot right on. Lamb bumps in the corner with Larry Robinson. We talked about how tough Mark Lamb is, despite the fact he gives away a lot of height to most of those he goes up against. Here's Semenoff going for the net. Scores!
I don't know what Larry Robinson was doing, but he and his defense partner got totally confused as to who was going to take this guy. It's on Robinson's side. And what a move Semenoff made to pour in there.
Comes to the line, kept in there by Jelena. Jelena is spun around. Donnelly drives it loose, gets it ahead to Robitaille. Scores! Alec gets it back to Robinson. There's the shot, just wide. Puck bounces in front of the net. Robitaille took a swipe at it. Here's another shot. Took a hit along the boards, got it ahead to Kudelski. He was trying to go rink wide. Kudelski is upset and he's hurt.
The Terminator, Muni, same kind of a play as Sandstrom. He didn't get much of Kudelski, but he got just a bit of him. And Muni, this is the second guy that he's put down for a while, and a very similar play. You should never cut across the rink like this anytime, but there it is, knee to knee, and Kudelski's knee lost. That's two useful hockey players that aren't likely to be back in this series.
Messier, and across the line to Anderson, a backhand shot and a glove save by Kelly Rudy. Now Robinson starts back, long lead pass for Alec. Alec tees it up. You've got a piece of it, and the rebound just bounced away from Dave Taylor. He took a swipe at it. And Craig McTavish picks up the loose puck. Lead pass for McTavish. Gets it back again. Throws it across to Tikkanen. There's his shot. They score! Deflected by Peter Klima, I believe. But the Edmonton Oilers win it 4-3 in this second overtime period.
Well, Peter Klima was the guy that deflected it. John Muckler gets out of here with one win and the home ice advantage in this playoff in a long, bitterly played hockey game tonight.
Klima got the stick on the shot by Esa Tikkanen at 4:48 of this second overtime period. Tikkanen and McTavish drawing the assist for the overtime winner by Peter Klima.
Ahead on the show, the scene switches to Edmonton for Game 3. While the venue changes, overtime remains a constant. Once again, the teams need more than 60 minutes to decide the outcome.
In this jersey,
Peter Klima's winner in double overtime had evened the series at a game apiece. The scene now shifted to Edmonton. Many wondered how the Oilers would respond and whether or not fatigue would start to take a toll. It had been a tough playoff season for the Oilers. Dating back to the Flames series, Edmonton had played 4 straight overtime games, including a pair of double overtime thrillers. There was no break in Game 3 of the series against the Kings. It was back to double overtime once again.
He shoots. It hit a player in front. Seminoff trying to control it. Does. Back to Smith, and there's an injured Los Angeles King. Larry Robinson is down.
He got hit in the face as he went to try and deflect that loose puck out of the zone. And I don't think there was a penalty called on it by referee Terry Gregg. Here's where he anticipates the play, and that's why he's a cut above everybody else in hockey. He gambled that that was going to be a breakaway, and Klima made a real nice play as Gretzky tried the slap shot, and Klima wouldn't let him bring the stick back down.
In Edmonton, it's still scoreless, 10:45 remaining in the opening period. Series tied at a game apiece.
Obvious on that play. He was in, couldn't handle the puck in the back.
Renato gets set, takes the shot, it's blocked. Duchesne with a shot that goes off the body, picked up in the corner. Sinisalo.
Gretzky's hurt now coming off the ice. His helmet's off. He got hit in the head.
He lost his glove, too. For Wayne Gretzky skates off to the bench. He's hurt. Puck.
Trail of blood follows the LA. There's Wayne Gretzky. It looks like he got hit behind the left ear. His helmet came off, and he's cut. There's quite a trail of blood, as you can see, on the hands of the trainer, Peter Demers, and he's going in to get stitched up. It may be on the ear. He's not as steady as he'd like to be as he heads to the LA